And today we're going to be looking at key programming and what key programming is all about. But before we look at key programming, we should look at what the key is in a vehicle. The key is a device or a tool or a machine, whatever you call it, that serves as both a security to the vehicle, security to, and also a starting to. So the key serves two purposes: to start the vehicle and to lock the vehicle to prevent it from theft and unauthorized uses. So that's what the key stands for, and those two are very important when we talk about key, not just for security but also for starting the vehicle. Now, before we look at key programming, we have to look at what how the systems operate. First of all, there are different generations of keys. As we know, we have the first keys, which are just the key without sensor, without chip. They're just um, meant as cut in particular shape and design, in their own unique shape and design. And those keys, you just fix it into um, your lock, and then you turn, and you have opened your vehicle, you have opened your doors, your ignition system, and your vehicle starts. Those were the first type of key. But the limitation of those keys is that anyone can get into your vehicle when he has such kind of keys and just put the key and your vehicle start, or someone can duplicate that your key or a master key that is quite similar to that your key, and they can also use to open and unlock your vehicle and steal the vehicle. So all these called for more um, security to be placed on the vehicle, and there we have the transporter key. These are key that has some electrical some electronic configuration. They are chip inside. This chip are devices that receive electromagnetic signals, and this chip sends those signals to the um, signal collector. Different manufacturer calls it different names, or the immobilizer or whatever. And this transporter, and this receive the signals, and then that's what authorizes the vehicle to start. So the key, the shape of the key only turn on the ignition, but it doesn't start the vehicle until there is a match between the program written on the chip and the program written on the immobilizer system, which is the security system of the vehicle. So the immobilizer system is a system that helps to authorize the chip. So when someone has the same key cut in vehicles with that have keys with chip, when it places that same key exact cut um, design of the key into the vehicle, it won't start. The ignition will just turn on, but the vehicle won't start. Why? Because the code written or the programs written in that chip hasn't been matched with what we have on the immobilizer system. So there was a matching of keys, and the code need to match, and that's what the immobilizer system does. And when there is that matching, then the immobilizer system then authorizes the ECU to send in fuel and send spark. So that's how it works. Here is a ring, immobilizer ring or whatever, transponder ring, depending on the name the manufacturer use, that collects that signal from the sensor, which is close to the when you place the key on the key, when you place the key into the ignition, that sensor senses it and then it opens the vehicle. And that's the second type of key. Then we had more sophisticated key like the keyless, which sends electronic signal. They also have their chip and their electronic configuration that sends key signals, and these signals just turns the vehicle on. Now those are for the various category of keys. Then another important security is the key fob. The key fob is not for starting the vehicle, but it's for locking and opening the doors, so that you can lock and unlock the doors, not even with your key, but with a remote key, a key fob or remote that would help you to um, unlock your vehicle. And it also requires programming, but it's programming. Most of the cases they are very simple, just pressing some regular buttons, so following some procedures to actualize that programming. So that's what key programming is. But before we go into practical step on how you can perform key programming, we'll look more into what key programming is, and to understand from the basics, from the foundation, so that we can get an overview. There's different types of vehicle, various brands of vehicle with various um, key programming system or key system. Key programming is all about a protocol to secure your vehicle from anti-theft, and different manufacturers use different protocol. That's why they have different keys, and their programming is different, their replacement, whatever, is different because of the different protocol. Everyone uses their security protocol, and that's why there are hundreds or even thousands of key programming tools out there, working with different protocol, different procedures, and all these makes it a complex business. That's why you can't program every branch of vehicle keys with just some few tools. You have to have very expensive and sophisticated tools, or you have multiple cheap tools for different brands of vehicle. So if you want to if you're a locksmith, or you want to regularly engage in key reprogramming as an auto electric car technician, you would have to either you buy very sophisticated tools, which you have to upgrade when security or protocol of keys advance by the manufacturer, or you have to buy multiple programming tools from different for different car keys, that for different car brands, that are quite cheaper. Now let's look at the whole concept. The concept is this: a manufacturer produces a car and doesn't want anybody to get easy access to the vehicle, and most times it plays a very difficult protocol in that vehicle. Now what happened is this: it plays that protocol, and that protocol should be difficult so that anybody can't just bypass it. Anybody can't just bypass the protocol. It's going to take you a lot of time and a lot of stress, or you have to contact an expert to help you to fix it. And that's what makes key programming. It's not just cutting the key, but the technology behind it. You have to get an expert. Now over time, different people start bypassing those protocols. When it started, it was logistically, maybe they may put a code, a security code or whatever, to put as a security that you have to get this code to bypass, to be able to access. And for you to get that code, you have to contact a manufacturer or a dealer or whatever, so that you can be able to program your key. But later, different people begin to develop tools. Different engineers begin to develop tools that can bypass that process. And so when their tools bypass that process, the manufacturer also tend to increase the technology, the protocol, the security protocol guiding that keys. So there is a constant change, a constant evolution of vehicle keys system, security system or protocol system, to be able to program them. So that keeps calling for more tools to be produced, and this producer keep producing more tools. That's why if you look back in time, some vehicles, older model, you can just have simple key programming tools program them. But as time begin to advance, more recent modern vehicles or model of vehicles have more difficult security that the old key programming tools can't really program again. So you have to get the latest one. So the more they increase the protocol, the more engineers go back, sit back, work, and see how they can bring out a system that will be able to program such keys. And different brand, the European vehicle has more strict protocol that causes, that is, I'm talking about Mercedes, BMW, Audi, and the rest. Let me say basically German cars. All these have more strict protocol for programming keys and others. Their system have more strict protocols, but they also have tools that can bypass such programming, and they are quite expensive compared to the regular traditional American and Japanese cars or vehicles. So that's what key programming is all about, bypassing that system. So when you place the key, the receiver, that is the immobilizer ring or transponder ring, senses the chip on the key, or if it's a keyless, there is a signal, senses it, and if the codes on them, or the if it matches, then it sends the value, or the ECU interprets. If it matches, then it sends the value to, sorry, the immobilizer interprets if those codes on them matches, and it sends the value to the ECU, which allows the vehicles to start. And how does that happen? It allows fuel to be supplied to the injector, and also spark to be supplied to the ignition system, and that causes sparking and combustion, sorry, that causes combustion, and the engine begins to run. So that's the protocol behind the key. So now, programming isn't very easy if you are not using the manufacturers for some vehicles, especially some European vehicles, which the protocol are difficult. The manufacturer wants to limit, not everybody should have access to that. So to program, you have to get either their specified tools, expensive to get their access, get their login, get their codes and whatever for them, or you have to buy very expensive tools that can do this programming, or you have to do some kind of not just electrical, not just computerized programming, but do some electronic work like the soldering of some stuff and all that. So especially when those key have EEPROM on their circuit. So that's on another side. So that's what key programming is basically all about, being able to bypass that procedure. And there are some that you just have to diagnostic to turn the ignition 5 times, or for 5 seconds, turn it off, put the key, remove, simple steps, and you can program. Those are the simple protocol, like you place the key, turn the ignition, count 5 seconds, turn off the ignition, remove the key, count 5 seconds, turn in the ignition again, place it, count another 10 seconds. Do that over there, repeated procedure. These procedures can help you to program a key. So when you put a new chip, or you get a new key or a spare key to program for some kind of vehicles, those simple traditional American vehicles or Japanese vehicles, you can perform those simple procedures, or just use simple tools that tell you, okay, turn off ignition, turn on ignition, do this, and when you do that, the key program. But for some, you have to get some sophisticated tools that will tell you what to do and how you could do that. So it's basically following some written instructions or procedures that will help you to rewrite those key. And there is no particular procedure, except you have maybe a manual of all the procedure. But when you have these tools already have this procedure integrated into them, and some of these tools you update them regularly, so they try to improve on the procedures they have, and you follow them, and they perform the programming themselves. There are some tools that can program keys even on text programming, meaning you don't have to fix it into the vehicle to program. You just have to get some code from the vehicle, and then take the key and program it. They have their own setup or systems to program such. All these are what key programming is all about and more.